So then we come back to the question they asked me at Harvard. But what about those devout religious seekers who don't know the name of Jesus? Do you really believe those devout religious seekers will go to hell simply because they did not know the name? This is a question that we need to consider. We desire not to judge, but to show compassion. Frankly, honestly, we see in other religions a deeper commitment than our own sometimes. Muslims dying for their faith, Mormons going on missionary journeys. And we should be ashamed that they are more devoted to their lie than we are to the truth. Yet we realize that some of them are trying to work their way or earn their way to heaven, and our salvation is not based on works, it's based on grace. Think about these things. The followers of Baal were devout, but Elijah on Mount Carmel said there was one God, and it was not Baal. You remember the first commandment? Thou shalt have no other gods besides me. The king of Egypt would confess that the gods of Nineveh were true. The prince of Babylon would acknowledge the God of the Philistines were true. But Jehovah, the God of Israel, said, there is no other God besides me. Who was Peter addressing in our passage for today? The 71 most devout religious people of their day. They knew the Scriptures. They had copied or translated or studied or read the Scriptures and knew them better than most. And yet he says to them, the one you rejected, he is the cornerstone, and there is salvation in no other name. What does our Bible tell us about devout religious seekers? It says devout religious seekers must learn about Jesus because Jesus is the only way to be saved. Jesus is the only way to get to heaven. And we must believe that theologically, and we must believe that practically in our own lives. And I think we probably believe it theologically, but then practically, when we never share the gospel, when we never tell anybody else about Jesus, when we're not passionate about missions, when we're not seeking to confront others with the truth of the gospel with compassionate conviction, do we really practically believe Jesus is the only way? Do we encounter people thinking they are destined for an eternity in hell and I've got the good news that would save them? Or do we worry? What are they going to think about me? Are they going to think I'm crazy? Let me put you at ease. You're in church on a Sunday morning. Our society already thinks you're crazy. Share the gospel and don't worry about it.